What's up, everyone? Caleb Simpson here. I am the anti-hustle entrepreneur, and I'm here to teach you how to work smarter and not longer because I believe the hustle mindset is toxic. I truly believe that you can have a great work-life balance, and you don't have to work 60 to 70 hours a week to grow your business. You can work 40 hours a week or less. And that's something that's super important. If you're a father like me, you can't afford to work 60 to 70 hours a week. So you have to get everything done in a shorter, more compressed amount of time. And that's what I teach. And so today, I want to talk to you guys about this whole notion that how important it is to have a good mindset. And so this came about because the other day I was in a Facebook group and there was this guy talking about, it was a productivity and time management group. And the guy was saying, hey, all these productivity tips, they mean nothing if you don't have a good mindset. And while I am 100% agree with him, the opposite is also true. So if you don't have a good project management system, if you don't manage your time well, having a good mindset isn't going to get you anywhere. And I speak from experience. Let me tell you guys a story. So I'm one of the co-founders of Bearded Brothers Energy Bars. You may have heard of us. You can find the products in locations like REI and Walmart, and we're in Whole Foods as well in a couple of different regions. So about 8 years ago, about 2 years into running the business, we were just hitting this inflection point where we were growing. We started to grow in staff members. We started to grow in physical locations that our product is in. And as the CEO, the operations manager, I was doing everything. I was overwhelmed. I was stressed to the max. I even did embarrassing things like forget to run payroll because I had so much going on and I was just unable to stay on top of it. And I had a great mindset. I had a super positive mindset. I believe we were going to be the next Cliff Bar. The sky was the limit for us. But the bottom of the line is that I didn't have a good project management system. I didn't manage my time well, and I didn't have to. And the reason was the systems I were using were ineffective. So today I want to share with you guys about an effective system that you can use to manage your tasks and your projects. So this is just part of the system that I teach in my upcoming masterclass, the WISE method. So the system I learned is called KanBan. You may have heard it. So I'm going to explain it to you in a little more detail. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to share my screen and show you a sample Kanban board that I made. This system, I think I mentioned it already. It's called Visual Task Management. If I didn't, I'm saying it again. So it's often referred to as Kanban or Visual Task Management. And basically what it does, it moves you away from just keeping a list on pen and paper or an Evernote, and it lets you see where all your projects and tasks are in their life cycle, because they don't live in just one category. There's often several categories they can live in. I'm going to show you what I mean here when I share my screen. So give me 1 second. Okay, what we have here is a sample Kanban board. And so you'll see, actually, let me move these over here real quick, because I'm going to give you an example. So there's basically 3 different categories that your projects can live in. You have things you need to do, things that you're doing, things that are in progress, and things that are already done. So let's take these things over here. In the to-do column is an example. So how most people probably keep track of their list is they either use something like Evernote or pen and paper, where they have everything just written down on a line. And so let's look at this one, for example. Actually, this one here, record video on visual task management. You know what? That's on my to-do list, but it's something we're doing right now. I'm recording this video as I speak to you guys. That's just one example. So this is living in a doing in progress column, and it won't move over to the done column until I'm done talking to you guys. So another example I have here is write a blog on the importance of wind down and rest time. So that's something I'm going to be doing in the future. But look at this one, for example, write a blog on visual task management. So this is a companion piece to the video I'm shooting right now, and that is done. I've completed it. It's actually living on my blog right now. But let me give you another example with the same card right here. We're going to move it over to the doing in progress column because there was a few days it lived right here. It wasn't completed. It wasn't to do. I had written the post. It was in my content management system in WordPress, but it needed to be proofed. So I needed to go home and have my wife proof the blog for me. So that was something that still needed to be done. So I couldn't move it to done yet because it wasn't done. It wasn't completely off my plate, but I couldn't just leave it on the to-do list. And this is why your typical pen and paper method don't work because it creates this residual, this cognitive load in your mind of always having to refer back to your list to see what's actually done and what still needs to be done. So let's look at a couple other things on this list as an example. So we have schedule eye doctor appointment. And one thing you'll notice here is this is a different color card. And that's because this is a personal task. So if I click on this, you'll see the card type is personal. It's kind of down here where I'm moving my mouse. And another cool thing about digital boards like this is you can add details within the card. So I have like the name of my doctor and his phone number. So when I go to schedule that appointment, I don't have to go Googling his phone number because I already looked it up and I put it in here. It's right there. So when I'm ready to do that, it's ready and available. And that saves me time. That's why these visual task management systems like this are so great, is because, one second here, sorry. My Zoom tools were covering the X here, so I couldn't shut this out. So going back to this, I'm going to give you one more example here. So look at this one. It says file state sales tax. You'll see a big old exclamation mark here, and that's because it's critical priority. So I'm going to open up this card here, and you'll see over here, there's priority levels. So as you may know, you may have heard the whole concept is things are either urgent and important, or they're urgent and unimportant. And there's a couple other categories as well, but basically all your various tasks fall into categories of importance. So with these digital boards, you can set an urgency level. You can also set due dates that will show up in here as well to prompt you to finish these. And this is why the system is so great, because it breaks down your tasks into categories and where they are in the process. And so you could get a lot more complex with this as well. So in this system I'm showing you right now, in this doing in progress column, I can even create another row here that says waiting for. So let's say I'm working on a project with somebody and I'm waiting on them to finish a certain part of the project. So that could live in the waiting for column. That way I know that project is still active and going. I can't mark it off my list yet. I can't mark it complete, but I know where it's at the moment. So here's why this system works so well. Essentially, you're closing open loops. So if you think about it, things are always on your mind. And if you don't get them out of your mind, they stay there. Oftentimes, you forget them. So that's one of the problems I had when I was just using the pen and paper method. I would often just forget to write things down. When you got like a digital board like this, where it can live on your phone and lives on your desktop, you never have an excuse not to record anything because it's essentially always with you. You're always closing those open loops. And the great thing about these digital boards is you can have many cards on them and know exactly what's on your plate. And the important part of these systems is getting it off of your mind, because that frees up your mind to think clearly and be at peace when you retire for the day and you rest. And rest is one of the important things I teach in the WISE method, because if we're not resting, our mind isn't rejuvenating and we can't work hard. And so rest is important, because when we rest our minds, it allows us to come to work rejuvenated and work hard and put in a good day's work. And if we have a visual task management system like I just showed you, you're pretty much always going to know what you need to be working on because it's right there in front of you. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments and I'm more than happy to help answer your questions. Thanks and have a great day.